Morning Update Tuesday. Paul Lindman and Scott Lynn, good morning. We spotlight the Portland mayor's race today and will continue to do so between now and our primary on May 15th. Joining us, one of the three front runners, according to the polls, former City Commissioner Charlie Hales on the Morning Update. Charlie, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Paul. It's nice to be here.
I'm curious, in a 23-person race, do you and the other candidates figure it will be over in the primary, you'll get the needed 51%, or are you just trying to make it against somebody in the general?
Well, I think it is an all-out horse race, but there are three of us who are running big campaigns and working at it full-time. I would still expect the whole thing to go into a runoff.
The latest polls I saw in late February had Eileen Brady leading you a little bit and Jefferson Smith in the third spot. How do you see things? How do you think it's going?
Oh, I think that's correct as far as it goes, but the big winner at this point is undecided because a lot of Portland voters are still taking a look at this race, and that's fine. We're going to be out there with a real grassroots campaign. We've been going door to door for months now, making sure people know what the issues are and have a chance to check me out.
When you first announced last May, you indicated political leadership needed to focus on businesses within the city and not just new businesses, but the ones that are here now. What could you do to get businesses going even further?
Well, I'm really enthusiastic about some good things going on in business now in Portland. We've got some great homegrown businesses in Portland like Aimco that makes these amazing machine tools, like Columbia Green that's making the framework for green roofs, like Bamboo Revolution that's just down the street from our campaign office that's making high-quality building products out of bamboo. The list goes on and on. We have traditional industries in Portland like Gunderson that are hiring. We have smart news software and IT firms downtown growing. So although the economy still has work to do in making it better, Portland is such a great place. We have done such a good job over the years of making this a livable city that I think we have some strengths to build from, Paul.
What would you do as mayor to continue to make it better, especially for the business community?
Well, first is that city government really needs to focus on doing the basics well. We need to make sure that we have great public schools in Portland. We have had great public schools. We've worked hard to hold on to them. People can count on me to be an advocate and champion for keeping great public schools in Portland, because for a lot of those companies, for a lot of those people that are thinking about living here and working here, that is an essential quality that we have to keep. And then the city government can't do everything, but it ought to do its own job well. It ought to take care of the city's streets. It ought to make sure that our water bills are going to water purposes, do our job well, keep Portland great at street level in all our neighborhoods, and that's going to be a big contributing to our economic rise here in Portland.
Will you pave the streets, Charlie? Mayor Sam Adams indicated recently his money goes more to bike paths and fixing bridges, or in his words, saving lives.
You know, when I was transportation commissioner, we had half the budget that the city now has, but we repaved 5 times as many lane miles of streets as is being proposed this year. So again, Paul, that's a case of getting the basics right. Although there are other nice things we'd like to do, job one for the city when it comes to transportation is keeping a surface on the streets that we have.
How come I continually hear from developers who complain about it taking months and a small fortune to get the permits they need to do the jobs they want to do?
Because they're right, and because there's a problem in our clumsy and antiquated permit process in Portland.
Will you fix it?
One of the things I've done, Paul, is work in other cities, and I've seen a permit process in Salt Lake City that is unbelievable because it's entirely paperless. We still send people out with clipboards and enter some of the data into microfiche machines. I don't know where they get the parts for a microfiche machine. So we're years behind the times in having a modern, efficient, fast processing permit processing system in Portland.
Quick answer to this, if you would, Charlie. Willamette Week dinged you lately for going more door to door and not being as good as your opponents on the social networking. You say what?
Check out our webpage, charliehales.com, and go to Facebook. You'll find me there, but you'll also find me on your front porch. And I think face-to-face conversation with real voters with no spin doctors in between is still the best way to campaign.
You're welcome for the setup. Former city commissioner, now candidate for mayor, Charlie Hales. We appreciate it, Charlie, and we'll talk again.
Thanks much.
We'll also be catching up with Eileen Brady and Jefferson Smith in the days to come.